All right, so today we're diving into the world of air fryers.
Air fryers.
They're everywhere, right?
Yeah, they are.
And today we're looking at a specific one. It's the NETTA 8L dual basket low energy air fryer.
Okay.
And that dual basket thing, that really caught my eye. Have you seen those?
Yeah, they're a newer thing, right?
Yeah, it means you can cook two things at the same time, like in separate baskets.
Right, so you could do like fries in one and...
Veggies in the other.
Exactly.
And it says it's 8 liters total, so that's 4 liters per basket.
8 liters, pretty big, actually. That's good for families or if you're, cooking for a few people.
Definitely. I'm always looking for ways to make cooking easier, especially on busy weeknights.
For sure.
And speaking of things that make life easier, this air fryer claims to be low energy.
Yeah, everyone's thinking about that these days, right?
Absolutely. With energy prices the way they are, every little bit helps.
Exactly.
But okay, let's back up a sec. For those who might not know, what exactly is an air fryer?
Basically, it's like a little convection oven. It circulates hot air really fast around your food, and that's how it gets crispy, without all the oil.
So it's not really frying then?
No, not in the traditional sense. It's more like achieving that crispy texture with a fraction of the oil.
Gotcha. Healthier frying.
Exactly.
Okay, so this NETTA model, it says it has digital smart programs. What does that even mean?
Yeah, it sounds fancy, right? It basically means there are preset times and temperatures for different types of foods.
Oh, so like if I wanted to cook, I don't know, salmon.
Exactly. You'd just hit the salmon button and it would cook it perfectly. No more guessing.
Interesting. But what if I'm feeling adventurous in the kitchen and want to experiment a bit?
They've got you covered. It also has an adjustable thermostat going from 80 to 200 degrees Celsius and a timer that goes for a whole hour.
Okay, so you have the best of both worlds.
Exactly. Control and convenience.
I like it. But, their product description, it also uses phrases like ideal appliance and talks about quick meals with no fuss.
Ah, yes. Marketing speak.
Right. It does make you wonder, is it really all that?
It's good to be skeptical, for sure.
Yeah.
We've all been burned by marketing before.
Totally. And then there's the whole non-stick coating thing they're always going on about. Makes it sound super helpful.
Yeah, nonstick and healthy are definitely buzzwords these days.
But is there any truth to it? I mean, does a non-stick coating actually make that much of a difference?
It can, actually. Think about it. When you cook with a regular pan, how much oil do you usually use?
Quite a bit to prevent sticking.
Right. With a good nonstick surface, you can use way less oil, which in turn can be healthier.
Okay, that makes sense. Less oil, healthier meals. I can get behind that. But what about this overheating protection system they mention? It sounds reassuring, but it also kind of makes me wonder.
Is overheating a common problem with air fryers?
Exactly. Should we be worried?
It's pretty standard these days to have overheating protection. It's more of a safety feature,
Right.
but
Yeah.
the fact they're highlighting it so much in the description, it does make you wonder.
It's like, are they trying to address a common concern?
Maybe. You know what might give us more insight? User reviews.
Yes. The voice of the people. What better way to get the real scoop than to hear from people who actually own and use this thing?
Exactly.
All right, so let's dive into the treasure trove of customer reviews and see what we can uncover. Okay, so I'm looking at these reviews, and wow, there are a lot.
People love their air fryers.
They really do. Okay, so one thing that pops up a lot. Chicken. Apparently, this thing cooks a mean chicken.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
There's even a review from a chef, an actual chef, who says it's better than traditional methods, like crispier skin, juicier meat, you name it.
Interesting. I wonder why that is. Maybe it's the way the air circulates in the NETTA?
Yeah, maybe it cooks it more evenly.
Possibly. Or, those dual baskets? Maybe that plays a role.
Yeah.
Better airflow around the food or something?
Could be. It's definitely something to consider if you're, like, a big chicken fan.
For sure.
Oh, and this is sweet. There's a review from someone who got it for their 90-year-old parent.
Aw.
Yeah, and they were saying how their parent had trouble using the oven, but this air fryer is so easy to use that they can now cook independently again.
That's amazing. I love that.
Right. It's like, it's not just an appliance. It's giving someone back their independence in the kitchen.
Exactly. When something is designed well, it should work for everyone, no matter their age or ability.
Absolutely. And speaking of design, something else that people seem to love, how easy this thing is to clean.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like multiple reviews mention those non-stick baskets and how they basically clean themselves.
Oh, that's always a plus. No one likes scrubbing greasy dishes.
Right. Especially after a long day. Okay, so we've heard a lot of good things. But let's be real, no product is perfect. What about the downsides? Any complaints popping up?
Hmm. Let's see. Okay, a few people mentioned the instruction manual.
Oh no, not the dreaded instruction manual. What's wrong with it?
Apparently, it's a bit vague, especially when it comes to those icons on the display.
Ah, yeah. I've been there. Sometimes those manuals feel like they were written in a different language.
Totally.
But to be fair, don't most kitchen appliance manuals kind of suck?
Yeah, it's a common complaint for sure.
Okay, so anything else?
Yeah, a handful of people wished it had one big basket instead of the two smaller ones.
Oh, interesting. Why is that?
They felt like the 4-liter baskets were a bit limiting, especially for bigger items.
Yeah, that makes sense. You'd have to get creative if you were trying to fit a whole pizza in there or something.
Right.
But then again, if you need to cook two things at once, those dual baskets are clutch.
Very true.
So I guess it really depends on your cooking style and what you're making.
Exactly. It's all about finding the right fit for you.
Yeah, good point. It's like you could have the coolest air fryer in the world, but if it doesn't fit in your kitchen,
Exactly. It's
Right.
not going to do you much good.
Speaking of fitting in, remember those dimensions we talked about?
Yeah, hold on.
It's-
32.5 centimeters by 40 centimeters by
Yeah.
42 centimeters.
Yeah, that's not tiny.
Definitely something to measure out your kitchen before you buy it.
Oh, for sure. Make sure you've got the counter space. But,
Yeah.
even with those little quirks we talked about, like the confusing manual and some people wanting a bigger basket,
Right.
it's kind of amazing how many positive reviews this Netta has overall. Like, people seem genuinely stoked about it.
It really does seem to be a hit. It just goes to show, you know, what works for one person might not work for another, but this air fryer.
It's ticking a lot of boxes for a lot of people.
Exactly.
All right, so before we wrap up this deep dive, any final thoughts on this air fryer? What's the one thing you hope people take away from all of this?
That's a good question. I think, we've talked a lot about the specifics, the features, the reviews, all that.
Yeah.
But beyond all that, I think the coolest thing about air fryers in general, and maybe this Netta especially, is how it could change your relationship with food.
Ooh, I like that. How so?
Well, like, remember that chef who said this thing cooks a better chicken than he could make before? And that person whose 90-year-old parent could cook again because of this air fryer. It's like,
Yeah.
it's not just about the food itself, it's about what that food represents. Independence, creativity, even connection.
Absolutely. It's like this little appliance has the potential to really change the way you cook and eat.
Exactly. And who knows, maybe it'll even inspire you to try new recipes or just enjoy cooking more.
I love that. It's about the possibilities. Well, there you have it, folks. We've taken a deep dive into the world of the Netta 8L dual basket low energy air fryer. We've explored the good, the maybe not so good, and everything in between.
And hopefully you've learned a thing or two along the way.
Absolutely. And hey, if you're curious to check out this air fryer for yourself, we've got a link to it in the show notes.
Let's see what all the fuss is about.
Exactly. Until next time, happy cooking, everyone.